Welcome back to Deshaun Watson. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Deshaun Watson and the rest of the Texans are looking forward to a healthier season in 2018. They get a tough test in the opener as they take on the defending AFC champs, the New England Patriots. I'll be back at halftime with a look around the early games. But first, it's up to Foxborough. Here are Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. A moment ago, the pride of Massachusetts, the Patriots, introduced to this, as always, sold-out crowd as they get set to go head-to-head with the Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering down on the field before the game. There's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here come the Patriots now on offense. They're led out by a man who started more Super Bowls than anyone in NFL history, the great Tom Brady.
I can't help but admire the career Tom Brady has had. The numbers are off the charts. The Super Bowl championships and rings, we know that they are incredible. But how about the durability? Had one season that he missed, most of that season because of a knee injury. The rest of the time, he answers the bell and wills his team to victory more times than not. And we keep hearing from people who are waiting to see the drop-off in his play. I'd quit worrying about it. I'd quit looking for it. He says he wants to play until he's 45. Is there any reason to doubt him? His skills have shown no sign of declining.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Brady again here on 2nd and 10. Steps away. Allen has it left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I think that should have been chalked up as a winning play for the defense, and they somehow beat it, didn't they? Right-handed quarterback flush to his left, yet he finds his tight end on the left side of the field. That's a tough throw. What a great completion.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They go play action for White. Now it's Brady. Hard throw, incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn. You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. And look here, it's an opening drive fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
Down. Flat 22.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Oh, now Miller slow in getting up. He's still down on the ground. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Texans and Patriots met in the divisional round of the playoffs 2 years ago. The Pats won that one, but they also met in one of the better games of the regular season last year. The Pats won, but it was in pretty dramatic fashion.
How about Deshaun Watson, his second start in the NFL for the Houston Texans? He went toe-to-toe with the master himself, Tom Brady, didn't he? But in the end, you know how it always turns out, right?
Brady did his, and this is going to be intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
The Pats offense coming out, yet another Super Bowl run last year that, of course, came up short against the Eagles. But Charles Gronk is back. Tom Brady back. Do they have any magic left in the tank?
Of course they do. They're the New England Patriots, and until further notice, they run the AFC East. They run the AFC. That's just who they are. But in order for them to win a Super Bowl again, to get back there and take it this time, they'll need the continued play of Brady, the continued magic. But on defense, not just winning the money downs. They've got to win first and second down so that the money down tilts in their favor.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he nearly picked it. Maybe daylight in front of him if he could have held on. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw is Brady. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll run for it with Gillisley. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and it'll be a turnover on downs. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game He was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscore. I mean, that's the Deshaun Watson. That's his first touchdown pass since October 29th of last year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And a great example there of just getting the feet in a tough spot. It seems like every year these guys get better at this.
Well, I think the drills get better that they work on, training camp, off-season work, OTAs. But also a lot of these guys have dance backgrounds, ballet backgrounds, and they take that and carry it over to the football field.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now it's Patterson. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Brady. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Gronkowski again, he was the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Trying to squeeze it into Edelman, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Down to the 25. Devin McCourty brings him down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now Watson. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Watson hands this to Foreman. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. On 1st down, it's Watson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
So one quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. They get 8 yards back there, and they could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Texans will add on to their lead. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 14-0. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Tom Brady and the Patriot offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
That time a slant, Brady in general on those quick hitters, he just releases the ball so fast.
He does, and he's so accurate, but most of the time, he wins before the ball's even snapped by his pre-snap read. Finds out where the defense is and delivers it to the proper place.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Out to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The wideout, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Here's Brady to throw. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 1st down, Brady trying to squeeze it into Edelman, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Texans making their way out with some renewed optimism, really, in Houston for 2018. But, Charles, it all revolves around one word. It's something they didn't have in 2017. I'll give you a hint. It starts with a letter H.
And I'm guessing it's not Houston.
No, it's health.
You're exactly right. Great call there, partner, because health is what really doomed their season last year. Remember, they were the #1 defense in the NFL 2 seasons ago. Whitney Merciless, a terrific outside linebacker, hurt very early last year. The face of the franchise, J.J. Watt, hurt very early last year. And who would have thought a rookie quarterback by the name of Deshaun Watt?
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
A carry for Foreman. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Third and long, it's Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Julian Edelman and the rest of the offense back onto the field now. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in week 1. So do not press that skip button. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Brady just 6 of 16 through the air, but he does have a 1st and 10 here. Throwing on first down is Brady. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with, but it's 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And look at this, another fake, but he will not make the first down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. on second down. Here's Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Down. Back 22.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. And he's got it. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans will extend their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. This offense trots back out there. Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those.
And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. He was looking for Edelman there. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You're running.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is James White. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. To throw on second is Watson. He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. They want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
Here's Foreman. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Foreman. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
This is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game, and the Texans will add on to their lead.
Well, this is really simple. Let's just say it. This quarterback is on fire. Touchdown after touchdown, throwing the football. What a day for him.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it is 28-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now it's Patterson. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16. A reminder, 4 more games set to kick off later this afternoon. Chiefs, Chargers, Seahawks and the Broncos, Redskins and Cardinals, and then the Cowboys against the Panthers. And this is incomplete. James White, the man he was looking for out of the backfield. And that'll bring up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Looking back to the air on second down, it's Brady. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. DJ Reader able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Allen on the punt as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
A run by Foreman to start the drive. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last for
a long time.
No doubt.
Back now in Foxborough. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll start the drive. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And Gronkowski's got it, complete over the middle. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It isn't. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now Foreman. This is the running back, Blue. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see. And he loses the football a 2nd time. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession. Down.
They'll try the air now with Watson. steps away to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Watson on first down. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. Watson's going to throw it here. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
Little work still to do, though. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Brady to Gronkowski for the Patriot first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Brady now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On 3rd and long, it's Brady. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Brady got to have this one. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And now out comes Houston. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And partner, this first week, this first game, you had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season, we get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine